What's going on, good people? It's your main man, Joe Fleetwood, the hustler, and welcome to the Joe Fleetwood podcast. As usual, I got my guest, Alicia, and she's here to join me today. For the last couple of weeks, we have not produced a single podcast, and the reason being, of course, it was holidays. So I hope everybody had a good holiday season as far as bringing in Christmas and New Year. So with that being said, we got to get into today's podcast. And when I tell you, every podcast and every media personality is talking about the interview from Club Shay Shay with Katt Willias. When I tell you this man, this man set the internet on fire. So peep game. Now, as I'm sitting here doing my research on it, y'all, I am actually on YouTube and I'm watching it. At the time I was watching it, I was only, I think, like 5 minutes into it. But when I first started watching, it was at 8.8 million views. Within the 5 minutes that I got into it, it got to 9.1 million. And I don't even know if I want to see what it's at right now. Just in that little span, it was it jumped up just like that from 8.8 million to 9.1 million, which is crazy. What are your thoughts on this whole Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay?
All right, first let me say, what up, everyone, and Happy New Year. Um, at first, I was like, okay, I keep seeing Katt Williams in an interview, and I'm like, what is everybody talking about?
So
So
you didn't know nothing about it.
I didn't know anything about it. So I clicked on Instagram, and that was the first thing that I saw. So I started listening to some of the things, and I'm crying laughing. Because I'm like, wow. Because, Katt Williams, he has this serious ass look when he be telling stuff. So I was like, wow. And he was getting everybody. And then I was looking at Shannon Sharp's expression because I bet he thinking, I don't had all these people on my show. And it's a possibility that they sit here and told straight out lies.
Well, here's the crazy part about that statement you just made is even in the interview, Shannon Shaw was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get any more comedians back on here. and Katt was like,
Yeah, I,
and Katt was like, no, because they're gonna be running back up here to, you know what I'm saying, to rebuttal and tell their side. Now,
the,
I will say this. I take everything with a grain of salt, and Katt is telling his truth from his perspective. So I don't want to, I take everything at face value. But what was really killing me, and I seen everything on Instagram too. When I was on Instagram, I'm looking at the comments, and in people's perception is crazy. It's crazy times that we live in because on one hand, let's take Ricky Smiley's response, right? Everybody, some people were saying, "Hey, Ricky Smiley took the high road." Other people were saying, because he didn't, shoot back, that everything Katt Williams saying had to be the truth. I look at it like that, man. There's three sides to every story. There's Katt Williams' version, there's Ricky Smiley version, and somewhere in the middle is the
it's the
truth.
truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'll say this. My first question was, why would he lie? But you see, in the interview, he asked the same thing.
Right, right.
Shannon Sharp said, why would they lie? And he said,
Liars lie.
why do liars lie?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking, why would he lie? Then I was like, this don't make no sense. So then I was thinking about, I saw said the entertainer's response.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was pretty much, you know, he lame as, I think he's saying he's lame as fuck and some other shit. But this is my thing. Okay, I know they say silence is the key, but I was on Instagram and I saw this post, or either somebody said, sometimes silence is the key. Sometimes silence is not the key. I think in this case, silence is not the key. It's kind of like when you're looking at the whole thing that's coming out about Puffy and TD
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, I'm not trying to be silent about it because you already know what people think.
Well, see, I think in Ricky Smiley's case, once again, it's a matter of perception. Because if let's say you're a producer and you in the room with Ricky Smiley, right? And you tell Ricky Smiley, certain things were supposed to happen and it's going this direction. It is not uncommon for producers or writers to change direction before a movie is shot.
Yeah,
So
play
if you're
both
telling me
sides of
that
the fence.
in one situation it went like this, writer or producer decides to change directions, and then it's gonna go like this. Not to say that one is wrong and the other is right, but it's to say that my truth was this and your truth is that. So it's not to say that what you're saying is wrong, but for you to come out and tell me I'm wrong when you weren't in the room, I would have a problem with that. Now I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't know what happened. All I know is Katt Williams gave a damn good entertaining interview.
Yes,
That's
he
for
did.
goddamn sure.
And that actually, to me, it not only put him back on the map, because they was giving him some hard times about the whole getting arrested and getting he was high and all that stuff. Trying to pretty much sabotage his career.
Yeah, man.
So
Like I wasn't on that. I'm
I
with Cat
wouldn't even
on
on
that.
that. I wouldn't even own that really, because to me it was mentioned and then it never was mentioned again. And he continued to do his comedy. But I'm gonna say this: why would Katt Williams lie? Because I go back to when Bootsy said when he got out of prison, he said he didn't have a penny.
Right.
He said he saw Katt Williams. Katt Williams threw something in his car. He said at first he thought it was, he said, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was some weed. He
Right.
said,
Right.
when I picked it up and I looked at it, it was a ball of money. He said, Katt Williams gave me $10,000. He said, that man didn't know me, but he knew that I had just got out of prison. He knew that I was struggling.
Yeah, he knew that situation. He knew that
Yes.
situation. He knew what that was.
So I'm going back to Katt Williams, and I get what you're saying. These directors, yeah, they can play both sides of the fence. But I'm going to ask you this. Just think about it. Who would have looked better playing Money Mike? Katt Williams or Ricky Smiley?
Now, let me tell you, I think Cat in that aspect, he was dead on. He was spot on.
Yeah, I
Because there's
think
a
he was
few
telling the
things
truth about
because
that.
there's a few things in that interview that Cat said regarding the character of Money Mike. Because nobody else, it's obvious Cat Williams created that character, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's completely obvious. If you look at Cat Williams, body of work in general, he personified a pimp. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? You
his
you
hair
can't
and
take that.
everything.
You can't take that from him whatsoever.
No. And
So
then I'm going to tell you something I know for a fact. All right, 2002, I was still in
mhm,
Atlanta, right?
right,
So Ricky Smiley wasn't really that famous. As a matter of fact, he didn't have anything, a radio show. He was making guest appearances on V103.
right,
And he became popular because he would record like, little silly instances where he would call like Krispy Kreme and he would play them different characters, like the old lady, he would play Lil Dare and all that.
right.
That's the publicity that he was getting then.
Yep,
So
yep.
from that, then he started selling the CDs or whatever on his website or whatever. That's how he got his start. But I think Katt Williams was already out there. But like you said, Katt Williams, if you look at him, he has that persona of being a pimp. And then I agree with him wholeheartedly when he said, how you gonna have a comedy and then somebody get raped in the comedy? That's not funny. That's
Right.
not funny at all. So he changed it. I wholeheartedly believe him on that.
So I don't. The only thing in that I'm not clear on is the statement about how Ricky Smiley's career got started. Because I remember Ricky Smiley being on Def Comedy Jam. I remember him being on Comic View.
Yeah,
I remember him hosting Comic View.
I remember that too.
So he was actually Ricky Smiley was actually putting in work. Now,
Yeah,
as
but
far as
he wasn't like on no movies, because I think Katt Williams was already in movies. I'm not sure, but
well,
I
let's
don't
do it.
know.
Let's do it like this. Let's look at Katt Williams' IMDb,
Okay.
and that'll tell the story right now. As far as what movies he was in, or actually when he got into the movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got a catalog. All right, let's see. Yeah, so it looks like, see y'all, he got movies all the way back to 2002. He was in NYPD Blue.
Yeah,
That
I'm telling you,
series
he
he
was
was
in
in. So
movies.
Friday After Next was 2002.
Uh-huh.
But they were
But
getting into
that's
movies around the same time then, because
but
they both
Katt
was in
Williams had
Friday
a
After
bigger
Next.
role.
Oh, no doubt. I'm not saying he didn't.
So that's why. How can you say you was gonna be cast as Money Mike? You didn't even know who was stealing all the stuff to the end.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though. That's what I mean by the direction change. Because
Yes,
originally it could have been him. He
and they
just
like
didn't
Katt
fit it. And
Williams'
then
ideas,
when Katt Williams, it was like, okay, well, we might need to pivot because
we like his
this is not
ideas.
Ricky Smiley. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
we
saying?
like we
So
like
that
Katt
we
Williams'
we
ideas.
like Katt Williams better. Like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying that it didn't go the way Katt Williams said it went. Everybody's perception and perception of the truth is different. But I'm
But I'm
not
sorry. I have to say this. If someone says that about me, and then they say I put in my contract for that person to be in the next movie in a damn dress, oh, I'm going to address it.
Oh yeah, we fighting, bro. Hey, you
Yeah,
gonna have hey, don't fight
I'm not
word right there,
taking no
buddy.
high
You
road.
you gonna have to shoot me to fade, homie.
Yeah,
You
that's a
you
logo.
gonna have to shoot me to fade right there.
That's a
Like we
logo.
gonna especially and my thing, hey, let's have a conversation about it. Because if I said something that offended you and then you hop on there and then come say something to me about it, then I have a problem.
Yeah, because I would
Now,
have been like, hey, you're going to have to prove it. Let me see your
right.
contract where it says that I had to be cast in a dress.
Right. So let's do
Because
this.
that's like crazy.
Yeah, that's yeah, man, cause you not just finna do me like that. Like we ain't
So he pretty
you not
much,
just finna hop out here and
I'm
just be like,
sorry, he did a pimp move in.
he did. So yeah, what we gonna do, man. Let's share screen real quick. Let's see. All right. So we got it set. We got the stage set. So let's go ahead and cut to it. You should be able to hear it this time.
Okay. I don't do it so I can sell products, and I got things to sell, so let me come talk. You have a great product here, and as a fan base, we love the attention that you spend on the guests. We love how much work you've done, how well you know them, how prepared you are. The same things that we liked about you in football. You brought that on over to here, and that's why it resonates. And the reason I had to come is because you've made a safe place for the truth to be told. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate
And
that.
I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday after next. The one I was in, I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing.
Now, hold on. Let's stop right there for a minute. This motherfucker said, you said out that mouth, you the one that I was in? Now, mind you, name one line Ricky Smiley had in that movie.
Shit,
Name one.
I can't even remember. Hell, it was towards the end. It was like a cameo.
You can't. But everybody, when that movie dropped, was running around quoting the Money Mike line.
Yes.
Everybody.
Pimp
Bitch,
down.
what was your antennas?
Yes, pimp down.
I ain't doing shit. Let me check my Palm Pilot.
Yes, he came up with those lines. He's not lying. Pimp down. Pimp in distress.
Yeah, like you can't.
Look,
there's not a single movie that Katt Williams has been in that you can't quote something this man has said.
Exactly. He said, Damon, I'm not a boy.
He said, Damon, I'm a boy. Yeah. So he got Katt Williams got quotables, man. Like every movie he was in, what was the other was it School Dance? The one that he was in?
I think, yes.
So everybody, when he was the jail scene, when he was like, that baby is right-skinned, not light-skinned. So every single movie this man is in, he got a quotable. Let's see what else he got to say.
This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike, and Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Yeah.
Look at he licking. Look.
Yo, Katt is everything, man.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you something. When somebody is telling the truth, look at his body gestures, man. It's like he is pissed. Like this nigga gonna sit up here and lie to you and tell you and make you believe that they gonna film a 5'5", 100 and whatever pounds Santa? Come on, man. And then Shannon Sharp like, he was speechless.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
And
it ain't no coincidence when he says, all you have ever seen this man play is women parts. And he said the next movie he played in was First Sunday, and he was cast as a woman.
Right. So
I don't think he made that up. I'm just saying.
Right.
And if I'm Ricky Smiley, ain't no way in hell I'm just going to take the high road. No.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening. That's what I'm saying. Like, there had to be some smoke. And speaking of that, I think the next person that's in the line of fire in that interview is Cedric the Entertainer. So let's go to that part. Let's see what we got here. Let's keep it going.
Clip, and he said that you responded because he said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie. That he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and he
is. Mark Curry did play the principal in his. I forgot about that.
I don't think he was the principal. I thought he
but
was.
He was somebody in charge.
So he was. You know what? I think he was the music teacher, and I think Sid was a music teacher on his show.
Man,
because he was trying to date the principal.
Yes,
but it did have the same theme as Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
It did. I forgot all about that.
Same thing. Yep, it had the exact same thing.
Nah,
that's crazy.
He not lying. I'm sorry.
But you know, there's been a lot of stuff about Steve Harvey when it comes to just, you know, the way he conducts business in general. Now, during that exact same interview, he touched bases on the Kings of Comedy thing, and to be honest, like, let's go back in time, right? Let's go back to when we first started seeing these artists. Like, I remember seeing Bernie Mac on Def Comedy Jam. I remember seeing them, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley. All of them started from the same place. DL, see them all on that.
All of them started from the same thing.
But when you want to talk about the ones who actually brung it during that time frame, the crowd favorites, Chris Tucker. Both time Chris Tucker was on, he killed it. Mm-hmm. Bernie Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was one of the young joints that was killing it back then?
You had
Bill Bellamy.
Yep.
He was tough coming up.
Was Earthquake on?
Earthquake was on there. Yep. Earthquake was on there.
Bill Crawford was on there.
My man, Michael Collier. Man, yes. Michael Collier killed it. He was on there.
Bruce was on there.
Bruce was, but I mean, as far as the top ones though,
yeah,
these was, and then some of the females, Dominique, Coco, those were the ones who were like
some more.
So these are the comedians that actually put up, as far as the hood was concerned, these was the best comics in my book. I was nowhere near a fan of Steve Harvey.
Mark Kerr was on there.
He had a different one. Yeah, Mark Kerr.
I knew about Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, these were the ones that I was feeling. I'm trying to think. Small Fry. Who else?
Yeah.
Man, it was a lot of dope
and then
comics.
You had Robin Harris before he died.
Robin Harris on there.
So, I mean, he is going back and he's pulling pretty much stuff out of the archives.
Yeah.
You know, he's pretty much giving credit to Mark Curry, saying, look, this was my joke. Mark Curry helped me strengthen the joke to make it even funnier.
Right.
So how am I going to steal his joke? And then I read what Sid said. Sid said, no, it was his joke because all his jokes relate to his background. I ain't never heard Sid say anything, any joke that pertains to like his background.
So I saw one of Sid's replies and it was like, that shit ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. My career and body of work ain't you can't sum up my career and body of work based off of one joke.
I heard
which
that.
Is true.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Which is true. But I think to Katt Williams' point, I mean, if you bit the joke, you bit the joke.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? That ain't to discredit everything else you done did. But if you bit that one joke, you did that.
Yeah, it's just saying pretty much, you know, you're a liar. Can't believe everything. That's pretty much what he's telling. You're a liar.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean,
So
you
this is another thing that killed me too, because one thing about Katt, man, that I'm starting to notice is that he is any and everywhere. So this
yeah.
is a roast. I didn't even know about this roast that he's talking about that went down with Steve
With
Harvey.
one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why I couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part?
Yo.
What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So
on that, man, I've heard. So that's the second time. Actually, it's more than the second time. It's like the third time, because I want to say on Vlad's show, DL said something about it. Like he heard the same thing.
Yeah,
about him trying to call him up and get him off Ocean's 11.
But that's what messed up the Kings of Comedy tour.
Yeah, that's I heard the same thing.
Yeah, because Bernie Mac said, he said, you cannot come back from this. Nah, we not speaking. They didn't speak no more.
Yeah, that's
he said,
crazy.
How you gonna? I remember he saying, how you gonna go behind my back and do something like that? I thought we were friends. I remember that because I went to the Kings of Comedy show, and then shortly after that, he was like, no.
Yeah, see, I had only heard about that. Did Bernie ever do an interview talking about that?
No, he refused to talk about it. I think shortly after that, I don't know if he became sick or whatever. But he got that. I think he got that deal to where he can do that sitcom from the joke he made about his sister's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really think that he just really just moved on in silence because he had other opportunities. And he was sick, so that helped him out because instead of like going to multiple different cities, he was able to stay in one location and film a sitcom. Because like they said, like I didn't even know this, in between him filming that sitcom, they had to take breaks. When they showed him by himself and they showed him playfully having that oxygen mask.
Right.
He added that in there because he really needed it. Because he was sick at the time. I didn't even know that. But he added in it as a joke, but it really wasn't a joke.
Right. So let's see. There was a clip that I saw where I want to say Kevin Hart, and it was years ago when he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about Katt Williams being on drugs. So, and then bringing because here's the thing: what I find most interesting about Katt, this man has helped so many people that it doesn't like he don't even say anything about it. You just hear it from other people, right?
Yes.
Because I saw another interview where Jacquees was talking about it, how Katt would come over and they would kick it and he would do things for Jacquees. Then you hear the Melba Moore story, him helping Melba Moore get her pay up the bread to get it on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah,
right?
But he even said he used it in one of his comedy shows. He was saying that something about him supposedly being on drugs. He said, "Man, I had a little bit of weed, a little bit." That's how he said, a little bit of weed. That's what he said. And notice he never was charged with anything
at all. So take a look at this real quick.
pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood, this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your action? You had the shot.
That was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promotion. You promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped.
Why was he a risk?
Chose drugs. Oh, take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian, these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shout out to Melanie Camacho, shout out to Lunel, shout out to Leslie Jones, we're all under the umbrella at Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are. I've used my platform and I brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far. Whether you like me or not, my presence in comedy will forever be felt. Because I'm a fucking host. I sit on the top of it and the opportunities I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You, nobody else did. You don't hear Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, in comedy, Seinfeld. You don't hear George Lopez, Eddie Griffin. You don't hear who else can I go down the road of other comedians? Steve Martin.
Yeah, like that right there alone.
So you already know that I got like a whole lot to say about.
You never saw that interview?
I know the caption. I read the caption. He already had two DUIs. Then on top of it, yes, he did cheat on his wife.
So I don't even like. I think those points are distractors. But the thing I'm focused on more is what he said about Katt being on drugs. So my thing is this: I don't know. Take for instance, a random motherfucker off the street doing something stupid. I don't know if these cats is on drugs or not. I would just say he acting like he on drugs. But I ain't finna get on no public platform and be like, oh yeah, he screwed off because he was on drugs. Did you see him taking drugs?
Exactly. That's my thing.
You don't notice.
Yes, and that's my thing.
And Katt has always been quite avid about the fact that he is smoking weed.
Now, yes. And he said that's all I've ever smoked is weed. He said I have smoked anything other than that. That's my thing. If you're going off of what somebody said, then my thing is it's an accusation.
Yeah,
because I didn't see it with my own eyes unless somebody came out with solid proof and said, you know what, we got this report. He had this in his system. He had this in his system. He had this in his system. Nice. There was never anything besides he was arrested and then that was it. He didn't do no jail time. He didn't have to pay no fine. I don't remember nothing being said about that.
Yeah. Another comedian he brought up was Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin was tough, especially his set he did about Michael Jackson and the moves he used to do back when he first came out. And that's another one who had a good run, Eddie Griffin, because he was in a bunch of movies too.
Mm-hmm. And then Dave Chappelle. Like, now this is my thing about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had his own show, right? Became very popular. I was one of the ones that loved it. I couldn't wait to see Dave Chappelle's show. But all of a sudden, he just went, I guess, I don't know if he had a nervous breakdown or what happened. He just disappeared.
Nah, see, now Katt talked about that quite extensively. But Dave Chappelle actually did an interview with Oprah talking about that. The man didn't go crazy. He just didn't want to sell his show and give them complete creative control of it.
And
see, the deal was a $50 million deal.
But see, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. What they said was they made it seem like, oh, he just had a nervous breakdown and he just went to another country.
But see, the whole point behind that was them making attempts to take it from him. Yeah. So the only thing, and he spoke about it in his interview with Oprah.
So in other words, they was trying to discredit him.
I mean, that's what they do. You know what I mean?
But see, that's what they were doing with Katt Williams. They knew that Katt Williams, I'm gonna say it like this. if I know someone has all the tea, I'm talking about everything. Because to me, it seems like Katt Willias would do what I do. Just sit back and then listen to everybody's shit. And that's pretty much what he's done. He sat there and listened. Or he said in the interview, he said, people have came and told me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it. So he sat back and collected information on people. And guess what? It just so happened that the information that he's collected are on those people that have went at him. So now he's firing back.
Right. But on to the Dave Chappelle point. Like Dave in the interview with Oprah, he was like, the only thing he did was just take some time off because he was nervous, because you tell the world you finna give me $50 million. So now I'm nervous because you just put a target on my back. Like if somebody hit, for instance, let's say you hit the lotto, right? You hit the lotto for $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
You got people, you got enemies you don't even know about.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden, I'm finna sue you for sexual assault because you brushed up against me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And in order to keep your reputation, is okay, well, let me go ahead and pay this motherfucker off and get it up off me because I ain't trying to get drugged through, you know what I mean, through the court of public opinion. It's just, you know, and I'm using that as an example. He didn't say that, but you can look up that interview, and I would suggest, matter of fact, let's just take a little quick snippet of. We'll take a trip down memory lane because in that interview, I think Dave realized that you know, Oprah may have been on their side as far as that whole conspiracy that Comedy Central, the narrative that Comedy Central was actually trying to spin when they were trying to,
like he was,
you know,
crazy.
get the rights to the show.
Like he was pretty much incompetent.
They're trying to convince me I'm insane. They're trying to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah. Like I'm sitting around, you know, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe that they knew what was going on. So this was troublesome.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid, like,
But you were stressed out. That's
there's
why.
no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say you're insane. Oh, hey, how about this? I showed up to work the first week, and where my office used to be, they built a wall there.
Why?
I didn't know why. But it came out later that they were like, well, they said you wanted it. I don't want to be walled up at the office. I like hanging out.
So you got up and you walked out, and nobody knew where you were going. Did your family know?
Nah, I called my brother.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, real cool. I called him up and was like, I'm going to Africa. He was like, cool, man. They're trying to convince me.
He said the key word. They were trying to discredit, and I've never seen that interview.
Yeah, so it was that. Like if you watch the entire interview, I'm telling you, because I saw it. It's like Oprah was just trying to bait him into saying that he was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But you were stressed, right? You were like, you would have to watch the whole thing. And,
yeah,
and
but
see, but my thing is this with Dave Chappelle. Now I think Dave Chappelle is a great comedian.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta tell you, in them early days, Dave Chappelle wasn't even on my radar. Like none of his jokes ever resonated with me.
Nope.
When he did Half Baked, to me, that was nowhere near funny.
Nope.
Whatsoever. And then I don't think I started paying attention to even I wouldn't if Charlie Murphy wasn't on that show, I would have never started watching it.
Oh my!
It turned out to be hilarious, but that's what brought me to it.
That's the only, and Prince. When he started doing Prince, imitating Prince, and when he started doing Rick James.
The R. Kelly spoof. You know, that brought me to, like, when I started seeing all of this, but that's what originally
Yeah,
brought me to it. Because for me, it was replacing In Living Color.
exactly.
That skit coming, it was what I missed from not
Hmm.
having In Living Color around. That Dave Chappelle show was
Yeah,
there.
but I'm gonna say this. You're right. I didn't start because he wasn't. To me, he was like he overdid it to me, especially in Half Baked. Like his his stuff was silly. It was just stupid to me. It wasn't
Yeah,
funny.
it just it
Um,
didn't sit with me.
but see, I've heard a lot of people have said that Oprah has screwed them over as far as having them as a guest and then kind of like flipping it on them. I've heard that several times before.
Oh
Um,
yeah. So Ludacris said it. It happened with Luda.
Monique said it,
Yep, Monique. Who
and
else
then
did it happen
Tiffany
with?
Haddish said it. But this is my thing: you set your ass right there with Kevin Hart. Watch them say that shit about Katt Williams, and you sitting there agreeing with it.
I mean, yeah, she gonna ride with that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that right there. That's her top color. Because you got during that time frame, Kevin was on top of the world. So
I
if
don't,
if
I don't give
if
a damn.
if I ain't got the body of work and I ain't got you know what I mean the accolades because and I don't and not to, I'm not taking anything away from Tiffany Haddish and what she's done, but you cannot discredit what Katt Williams said about her because he said nothing false. You may not like the delivery because when you line those two up and his direct comparison of what Monique has done and what Tiffany has done, they don't stack up.
They don't.
Now, uh maybe the issue, and I think this is really what Hollywood has a problem with, and I think this is really what these big sponsors and these people who give out these series have a problem with. Is one thing to make a deal, right? In order to get what you want. It's another thing to make a deal where you feel you don't have control. The best deals are made where nobody feels good about it. That's typically what's said. Well, I don't feel good about it. They don't feel good about it. It's a good deal, which means you gave up something, they gave up something. Hollywood wants you to play nice. And I
Hmm.
think when you have people like Katt Williams, who are very opinionated in the way they want things to go and how they want to be perceived, they will allow nobody to change that. And when you do that with Hollywood, they don't like it. They like to
Yeah,
feel like they're in control. They like to put that Hollywood twist on it.
that's what an
And
idiot employer though. Really
yeah,
and
and
truly,
but the thing
honestly.
is, if you're coming, but I'm with Katt Williams on this. If you're coming to me for my product, you can't tell me how to deliver my product. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? I'm not gonna give
Exactly.
you any creative control over what I'm doing. Now you came to me, you said you wanted it, then let me do my thing. But I think
Exactly.
in Hollywood, in order to go further, you have to be willing to budge uh in the way you connect your brand to a sponsor or a Hollywood studio production. And I don't
Yeah.
think Katt Williams is one of those types that gonna do
No,
that.
he's original. And you don't have too many of those individuals that remain. I'm gonna say this. He remains humble in his own way.
Right.
It's pretty much you have so many people that like they call it selling your soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if that were me, nah, I'm not doing nothing that's out of character from what I'm already doing. This is what I've been doing. That's what got your attention. So why would I veer away from that
Right.
to accommodate you? I'm not doing that. Period. Point blank. And then all of a sudden you want control over something that I've been doing for pretty much my whole life. No, you're not getting that. And I
Yeah,
agree with him on that
yeah, and
wholeheartedly.
yeah, because if you and another thing, like Katt Williams in general, man, I'm just a huge fan of his, and I just feel
Man,
like
too.
this. You may not Cat. So there's two people who got the exact same personality who I'm a fan of, but people just don't like their delivery. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, uh, you know, the message ain't easy to swallow. But when it comes to Dame Dash and Katt Williams, they just gonna let it fly. They're not gonna say it in a manner that you may be accepted to. But I've heard nothing but good things about Katt Williams. Like,
Yeah, me
even
too.
when, so take HaHa Davis, right? So HaHa Davis he actually did an interview. Matter of fact, he did it on another podcast. He did it on $1 Million Worth of Game. He did it on $1 Million Worth of Game when he was talking about he was in a movie with Katt Williams. He was just talking about how Katt Williams was trying to little bro him. He was like, but at the end, Katt Williams came into his trailer and said, "Hey man, you are funny as hell. I'm a huge fan of yours. Keep doing your thing." And in the interview, man, he was like, he really appreciated that. He was like, at first, because he felt like he was trying to little bro him, he was like, Katt was saying stuff like, no, he ain't ready. He ain't saying it right. So he kind of felt like Katt was saying he wasn't ready. You know what I mean? But he was just basically giving him pointers on his acting. And
In other
since it was
words, he was trying to be his mentor.
Right. You know what I mean? He was basically just giving him pointers because it was HaHa Davis' first time in front of a camera doing a movie. But you know, when he came back to the trailer and said that to him, you know what I mean? It actually changed his perception. And it's stuff like that, man, that Katt don't get enough. It ain't publicized enough, man. Stuff like that need to get pushed.
But you know what you're saying, it's kind of like, remember on Love and Basketball when the girl was playing basketball and she kept wondering why the coach was riding her back so hard. And the coach finally told her, she said, "When I stop talking to you is when you need to worry." That reminded me of that situation. So it's kind of like Katt Williams, even though HaHa Davis probably took it as being negative, he was really trying to tell him, look, I'm pushing you to get to that next level.
Right.
That's what really, to me, that's what he was really trying to do, if you look at the whole thing. But you're right. He doesn't get enough credit because I had no idea he did what he did for Boosie until Boosie said it on live. And I didn't know he did that for HaHa Davis until you said it. So he doesn't get the notoriety, but I don't think he does it to get credit for it. I think he does
because
it
you never hear him talk about it.
No, he's a genuine person. Like the Melba Moore, I had no idea that he paid for that. But the point was, he's a genuine individual. I think that is what he's saying. And I believe him on that. He's, like you say, his delivery might be harsh, but it's correct.
Right. So
especially in the industry that he's in.
But it's not even just that. So now I will say this, and I try to play devil's advocate, man, when you're talking about, you know, journalism and stuff like that and other people's perspective. Because I'm always be Team Katt. I don't care what it is. I like them other comedians. They do stuff that I like. I like them for that. I don't know nothing about them personally. I don't really give two shits about them personally because I don't know them in that matter. I can't say I got a problem with them because I ain't got one on phone number, so I don't know them well enough to have a problem with them. But I'm a huge fan of Katt. And Katt with his heart on his sleeve, and he open up about everything. But sometimes he can be a little bit reckless. Now, did you hear what he said about Kanye?
No, I didn't hear that.
All right, I'm gonna let you hear that. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Know how well you know Kanye. I don't know if you've been around Kanye, but from a distance, what do you suspect's going on?
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? Wouldn't you grade them on a curve? Wouldn't you go, whew, this guy? Because, I mean, what are we reacting to? What are we reacting to? You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus and You're the one told the guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius.
Mhm.
You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore. Like, what?
Oh, Lord.
Like,
Wow.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, married her because she was one. Not he didn't know. He understood that he wanted that. He courted that. That's what he wanted to base his
But maybe she
family
got a
on.
good heart, though. I know what you're going to say. Don't you say it, Katt. Don't you say it. I'm going to move the
If
conversation.
what I'm saying is not correct, then how does she end up with Pete Davidson?
Yo, so that so you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go back to the clip, but I want to say this, and this is what I mean by reckless. Like you didn't straight up call it, man. Oh, it's his ex, but you just can't just straight up calling this woman no hoe.
Peanut.
You know what I mean?
Joe, let me tell you something.
Yo,
I don't think he was reckless. And I'm going to say this too because I would have said it the exact same way.
I wouldn't have did.
I understand this.
And I'm going to say, and you know I say whatever, but I wouldn't have did that because that ain't
No, Peanut, she has earned that reputation. How did she become popular? She didn't become popular because of her dad being an attorney for OJ. She became popular because of what? Say it. Go ahead and say it. Because of what?
I mean, we know the Ray J tape thing, man.
Yes, the sex video with Ray J. So if she want to come across that way, then I'm sorry. She earned that name. She's a damn whore.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what you say. Fuck that. He said it the right way. He knew what the fuck he was getting.
Yo, I don't know if I would have went
and
that
then
far.
I agree with him on the whole thing. Y'all know this man got some mental issues. Y'all pretty much let him have his way on damn TV. Y'all let him act the fool.
They did. But see, let me tell you, and this is what I love about Katt, man. I don't think. Hey, he said what he said. I ain't trying to knock him. I would have said it a little bit differently.
No.
You know, but you're right. He did. He said what he said.
Shannon said, Shannon Sharp, don't you say it. No, I would have said, I'm finna say it. I'm getting ready to say it. You might as well just, if you want to edit it out, go ahead on. But I'm getting ready to say it.
But here's what I want you to listen to. It's the rest of this of what Katt Williams said to me was more profound than anything else he said about the Kanye and Kim situation.
I mean, it happens all the time.
And what if you weren't even good enough for Pete and he leaves you? What do that mean the product was? No, I don't support or villainize Kanye because I don't understand what it is we want from him. I don't know why we look at a basketball player and say, he didn't score no hockey goals this whole season. He don't play hockey.
He is a clown.
But you know what? That's extremely profound because he's telling the truth. Like, what do we want from Kanye? Like and I think when he said he does not support or villainize Kanye because he don't know which way to go.
But he's telling the truth, which that's the way to approach anything. Because if you don't really know the truth, then what you're gonna say is, I really don't have an opinion because I don't know if it's true or not. And that's pretty much what he's saying. I don't villainize him because I really don't know. Like what you want, like he said, what you want me to say. So this man has not been the same since his mother passed. All of a sudden,
I believe in that statement that Katt made. Just me trying to I don't even say interpret, but me comprehending the message that he's delivering is like Kanye is a musician, right? Mm-hmm. He was making beats, then he started rapping. At what point did Kanye become the person that we listened to when it came to history? At what point did Kanye become the person that we listened to when it came to politics? At what point? And I'm not saying that a person can't study these things and put together a profound body of work or body of literature on the subject. but that don't make you an expert.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
at
I'm
what
really
point? So you call yourself Jesus, right? You create a church and a gospel choir, and then turn around and you curse like a sailor.
And then he run for
Right?
president.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
Did he try to
Like,
run for president, right?
I think at some point he was considering putting his hat in the ballot to be nominated for president. I don't know if it ever happened, but either way, man, I wholeheartedly agree with his take on Kanye. I don't agree with him nor villainize him, but like, what standard are we holding Kanye to now at this point?
Nothing, because really, this is my thing. Like, I agree with you too, and I agree with Katt Willias. No, I don't villainize him. I'm not a Kanye West fan. I don't listen to anything. I don't buy his shoes, any of that. And that's just my choice, because he's not I guess, my type of person that I would listen to. Now, you say you agree with Katt Williams, but you think he shouldn't have called a man's wife a whore. To me, I think he said it perfectly from the beginning to the end. Because that's how she came out and presented herself. So it's like, if that's how you come out, how do you think people are going to perceive you as a damn whore? I don't give a fuck what you say. Look, we talking about the same woman that married to the basketball player for how long? For how long? How long was she married to him?
I couldn't tell you.
It wasn't long enough for it to count. She had to get an annulment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this. Kanye West is doing what Hollywood allows him to do.
Well, ain't just Hollywood, man. I think it's the industry in general.
In general, because who goes on the MTV Awards, hop in front of, wasn't it Taylor Swift?
Oh yeah, I think it was Taylor Swift.
And he had about bushes. What he said? Bush is something. Oh, Bush is a racist or something.
No, you don't like black folks.
I don't.
But that wasn't then. That was, he said that when he was with Jimmy Kimmel and they was doing, I think, Rock the Vote.
But that was right after his mama died.
But I think that's when he did that, and I think what he did with Taylor Swift was he mentioned something about Beyonce in the middle of her. He took the mic out of her hand and said something about Beyonce. I think that was like the first inclination of the.
That was right after his mama died, and I said he done lost his damn mind. That's exactly what I said. You laugh, but I'm telling you the truth. That's exactly what I said. So he done lost his damn mind.
But Joe, what about? And we got to hit this one before we wrap it up, man. Let's play one more. This is also Club Shay Shay, because the whole interview was just awesome. But to me, this was like, let's see. I think it's this one. Let's see. All right, so I'm trying to find the one to match it up with. There we go.
Virgin asshole.
Hold on, let's back that up.
And never asshole was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin asshole and never have sucked a penis. That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, Dad.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weeks. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
You see Jonathan Major, what he went through. Marvel dropped him as soon as the conviction came out. And you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all folk. Guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart.
What do you think about this cancel culture? You see the situation with Jonathan Major. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I don't know if maybe he can bounce back in a couple of years.
Man, that whole Jonathan Majors thing was crazy. And then what they charged him with, they didn't even really charge him with assault. They charged him with, I think it was like a 3rd-degree reckless assault or something like that, because he hurt her finger when he snatched away. It wasn't nothing serious. He ain't gonna get no jail time or nothing for it. But based off of that, yeah, Marvel dropped him. Like that, those were the charges that he got. And it wasn't even nothing serious. You could plainly see she was the aggressor. Even in all the testimonies, the driver said she was the aggressor. I look back, he could see it in the rearview mirror that she was the aggressor. This man snatched his phone, tried to get away because she was trying to hit him, and he took off running. And there's a video of her chasing this man around New York. Come on now. How in the hell does this man get any kind of assault charge?
But it's kind of like Johnny Depp and his crazy ass wife.
It is.
I mean, how the hell you sitting up on the motherfucking stand and you gonna slip and try to do some goddamn cocaine? You can see the shit.
Yeah,
Man, she had like he crazy. She sitting up there drugging the man, filming the man. Just that made me stay away from a goddamn white woman.
Hollywood, man. Goddamn Hollywood, boy. That's crazy. Yeah, man. So, but yo, that's our time, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in with us as we go through this down that whole Katt Williams rabbit hole and all that good stuff. Make sure y'all go to joefleetwood.net. Right now, I'm rocking the red JF Panda, man. Make sure you go check out the clothes we got and the apparel we got on the website. Get you some. It's still cold outside. I got a bunch of hoodies and stuff. There's some other stuff on the shop, man. Make sure y'all go check it out. Also, when you go to the website, you got all of the Joe Fleetwood podcast social media. You can check us out on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, just all over, man. Make sure you look for us. We on all major platforms for your podcast, wherever you consume that at. You know what I mean? Whether it's Spotify, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, we on there, Apple Podcasts. We everywhere, man. Just make sure you check us out. Hope everybody had a happy new year, and I appreciate y'all rocking with us. Peace.